Much, Minister Sukri. I'm delighted to be back in Cairo, and I want to congratulate Samia on his assuming the role of Foreign Minister of Egypt. And indeed, we have worked together previously, and I look forward to continuing now to work with him as both of us perform these to reaffirm the strength of the important partnership, the historic partnership between the United States and Egypt, and also to consult on the critical situations that we face in the region, obviously particularly Iraq, Syria, and Libya. After 3 difficult years of transition, the United States remains deeply committed to seeing Egypt succeed. We want to see the people of Egypt succeed, and we want to contribute to the success of Egypt. As President Obama told President al-Sisi after his inauguration, we are committed to working together to fulfill the full promise of Egypt's 2011 revolution, and to support the political and economic and social aspirations of the Egyptian people, as well as their universal human rights. I reiterated that message in each of my meetings today as part of a broad and a very constructive discussion of the issues, including Israeli-Palestinian relations, Egypt's return to the African Union, and confronting the shared threats of terrorism and extremism. I want to thank President al-Sisi for a very candid and comprehensive discussion in which we both expressed our deep concerns about a number of issues, but most importantly, our mutual determination for our countries to work together in partnership in order to deal with the challenges that we face. I emphasized also our strong support for upholding the universal rights and freedoms of all Egyptians, including freedom of expression, peaceful assembly and association. And we also discussed the essential role of a vibrant civil society, a free press, and rule of law, and due process in a democracy. There is no question that Egyptian society is stronger when all of its citizens have a say and a stake in its success. And I welcomed recent statements from President al-Sisi and his call for a review of human rights legislation. We discussed the economic challenges of Egypt, and I made clear President Obama's and the United States' commitment to be helpful in that regard. We also discussed, as I said earlier, the grave security situation in Iraq. Over the next week, I will make the same case to other leaders that I made to President al-Sisi today. ISIL, or Daesh, as many people call it here, its ideology of violence and repression is a threat not only to Iraq, but to the entire region. This is a critical moment where together we must urge Iraq's leaders to rise above sectarian motivations and form a government that is united in its determination to meet the needs and speak to the demands of all of their people. For Egypt, this is also a moment of high stakes, as well as a moment of great opportunity. Perhaps the greatest challenge that the new government faces is providing economic opportunity for Egyptians who seek and deserve a better life, including the millions of young people who have played an instrumental role in their country's historic political change. Together with our international partners, including friends in the region like the Saudis, the Emiratis, the United States will contribute and work towards the economic support and transformation of Egypt, and work to help provide stability and an economic transformation for all Egyptians. Egypt and its people have made clear their demands for dignity, justice, and for political and economic opportunity. They've just had an historic election for president, and there will be further elections for the parliament. And the United States fully supports these aspirations and the efforts of the government to help fulfill its obligations with that regard. And we will stand with the Egyptian people as they fight for the future that they want and that they deserve. So we have a lot of work to do together. We know that. We talked about that today. And I think we really found ourselves on a similar page of changes that have yet to be made, promises that have yet to be fulfilled, but of a serious sense of purpose and commitment by both of us to try to help achieve those goals. All of the things that are happening here are happening at a moment of extraordinary change in many parts of this region. And it is imperative for all of us to work cooperatively to try to address these concerns. Likewise, we talked about the challenges of Libya and the challenge that many countries face in this region of the spillover effect of terrorism, extremism that is playing out in various countries. That is true in Libya, and that is true in Iraq. And both Egypt and the United States share deep concerns and a deep opposition to the challenge that these threats of radical ideology and extremism and what they present to everybody. So we will continue to work. We will work hard to augment what is a long-standing and deep partnership between the United States and Egypt, recognizing that we both have things to do that we can do better, and that we both will work to do so. But we will do so with a common understanding of the mutual interest that we share in standing up to the greatest threat of all to this region, which is the threat of these terrorists who want to tear apart at rule of law and tear away at existing governance. And neither of us have an interest in allowing that to happen. Be happy to answer a few questions.